Welcome to the Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
Well, my name is Alicia Godmasch, and I am a film producer, I'm a writer, and I'm a location manager. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, and I am executive producer for Moswell Films, which is a joint venture company that I share with my business partner, Joe Howell. And in addition to that, I am executive producer for the Bigger Picture Films, which is a film production company out in Los Angeles, and that is owned by a good friend of mine named Tim Burke. And I also do location management for various film productions, and I write, and I have a science fiction novel that's going to probably be out in the fall. In addition to that, I've been in the industry for a couple of years now, for some years, I should say now, and I absolutely love it, especially here in Georgia. So that's a little bit about me. Well, it's funny because I have so many relatives that are in the entertainment industry. For example, I have I have a late uncle. His name is Wilmer C. Ames, and he actually created a magazine called Emerge Magazine, which ran from like 1989 till 2000. And it was like one of the first magazines that came out that really focused on topics of interest for African Americans. And it was a really great magazine. So I had him growing up. So it was one of those things where he was always very much in touch with people from the entertainment industry. So I was heard about that. And then in addition, I have an uncle. His name is Herb K. Ames, and he was the first African-American model for Sears. And I'm dating myself a little bit here. Sears used to have a catalog that would come out to everybody's houses and everything. And everybody was so excited to see the little Sears catalog and what was on sale. And so my uncle was actually one of their first African American model. So it was one of those things where I always, I remember getting the circular in the mail, and I'd be like, oh, there's Uncle Herb, and stuff. And so I was always kind of surrounded by it. I have nieces now that are actresses and they're bodybuilders and they're surrounded in the entertainment industry. I have a brother that's a voiceover actor. I have another brother that also does some film producing. And it's just something that I think I've just been meant to do. So that when I was in corporate America, because I started off with a corporate, background, I was determined to be this corporate woman and everything else. Even though I was surrounded by the entertainment industry, I knew I loved it. I thought, let me just go into corporate and see what that's like. And I did like it, and I did enjoy being that business person for quite a while, for a few years. And I just found that there was something lacking. I really couldn't express my creativity as much as I can in this space. So eventually what happened was I decided to make the switch over to the entertainment industry, because for me, that was just the logical choice to move over from corporate America to some place where creativity is encouraged and not suppressed. And, literally with this industry, you can, fathom something one day, and next thing you know, it's a movie that everybody is able to come together and enjoy, or it's a novel that people can read and it stirs the imagination. So for me, this is really the best place for me. And I realized that during one of my first gigs that I had as a first assistant director, I just realized that. And then the thing is too, is that even though I was in corporate America, I would still kind of stay a little bit connected with the entertainment industry, because I would do extra work. Sometimes I would do background work just because I really like the energy, of, the whole filmmaking process. So, the logical choice after I decided that I wanted to, be more in charge of, my narrative, my life, where I was going, my creativity was this industry. Always juggling different things. I'm juggling, finishing up my first science fiction novel. I'm juggling multiple projects, producing multiple projects. And, it's always been one of those things where I sometimes I'll do location management, because that's where I really kind of started, besides the first assistant director gig was something that I did. But then after that, I did location management for years, and I enjoyed that. And then I went over to producing. So sometimes I'll have a friend that'll call me and say, hey, listen, we would love you to, be a location manager for this project. And if I really love the project, then I'll go over and I'll do that. And then with other projects, I'm producing, again, executive producer of Moswell Films and the Bigger Picture Films, and then, writing as well, and then also writing screenplays and things of that nature. So I do juggle a lot of different roles in the industry, which I find is great. That's another thing that I'm actually grateful for as in regards to my corporate experience, is because being there in corporate really kind of taught me to have that really good business sense and mentality. So I translated that over to this, and therefore it's not so hard for me to, do so many things. And it's amazing how many people in this industry typically have more roles than one. They'll do location management, they'll be producing a film, they'll be writing stuff, you'll have somebody that's the caterer, but also an actor or actress, and it's just incredible. So you have a lot of people that are the same, in that they don't have just one role. They have multiple roles that they play in different kind of productions. So it's interesting, yeah. I haven't had the same kind of day since I started this industry. It's always been different. It really helps you to grow in the industry. It helps you to become more knowledgeable and more valuable as well. So I do appreciate that. But you're absolutely right. I just got off the phone a few minutes ago before this, and it was like I literally had a 4-hour phone call. And typically my phone calls don't last 4 hours, although I will have multiple calls a day, but you just never know what your day is going to look like. It was a very productive call, and it was a great call, but it was literally 4 hours long, so you just never know. I have a couple of projects that I'm absolutely in love with. One of those projects is a project that I'm working on right now, and that is called Planet X: Gold of the Gods. It's a really incredible sci-fi epic fantasy type of project, and I absolutely love it. We've been working on it for, a couple years, just because there's so many, layers to it, but it really and truly is a labor of love. Another project that I absolutely adore is this project that I've written, and it's called Language, and I'm working on that right now. And it's a rom-com, and I never thought that I would personally write a rom-com, but, because I like the sci-fi, the adventure, I'm more like an action type of person. I really do love the story as well. It's just something that's near and dear to me, and it's a lot of fun. And then finally, one project that I absolutely loved as well, it was a Lifetime project, and it's called A Lover Scorned, and that was a lot of fun. Oh yes, and another Lifetime project, which is called Pride and Prejudice Atlanta. That was fun too to work on, and that came out not too long ago, but I really just loved the whole storyline with that. I just loved the way that they gave, Pride and Prejudice an updated, spin, a modern twist, and then it was in Atlanta. So that also made it just really interesting to me. I think that it was really beautifully written and a lot of fun to work on. Yeah, they ended up filming that in like different parts of Atlanta. Christmas Wishes Misteltoe Kisses. And it was a really amazing project. The Hallmark Channel, actually, I think sometimes people don't realize just what a huge channel that is. It is a huge and very, very successful channel. And so they really have their stuff together. And they really have a great dynamic within the corporation and how they work with people. I personally got on because I was working with Swirl Films a lot, which is an Atlanta-based film production company at the time. And they brought me on board. And so I worked with them. And it was really a lot of fun because they know exactly what they want, and they wanted to make this beautiful, love story. And they were able to do that. And, the executive producer also had a great idea of how he wanted the whole thing to play out. And it was funny because at first we were going to go to Helen and film, the film, because it was just such a romantic type of vibe that we thought that they wanted, but we ended up filming it elsewhere in Marietta and different parts of, Atlanta. So, but it was really a great project. I was really honored to be a part of that. And I met some really great people as well. Yeah, a lot of fun. I really do have a lot of respect for the Hallmark Channel, especially now that I had a chance to work with them. Well, it's just been so great because Atlanta definitely is, like you said, the Hollywood of the South. So we have so many, projects that are going on here at any given moment. And it opens up a world of opportunities because it's not Hollywood. We're a tight-knit community. I have a lot of union brothers and sisters from IATSE and also some with Teamsters. And we just all work together to, make these films happen and to also bring as much, to as much business to Georgia as we can, because we have an amazing, tax credit. And that tax credit just really, opens up a lot of doors for so many people. So it's been really great. I've really loved the experience, and I hope that we're able to just continue and make this all grow and continue to flourish the way it is, just because we also have so many different environments that you can film in. We have the beach, we have the mountains, we have the fields, we have, a lot of historical type of environments that you can go to. And just overall, it's, a lot more cost effective to film here. So, we're just hoping to continue the trend that we have, and it's a beautiful thing. We all, like I said, we're a tight-knit community. We all enjoy, for the most part, working with each other, and you kind of know who to pick up the phone and call if you need a first assistant director or a director, or an actor or actress that's really local and super good. You just, you can keep it all local and just have a really wonderful, a film project. So it's been great. I think a lot of people, they want to get involved in the film industry because they think it's really glamorous and easy. Some people do, but it's very, very hard. Like, we work super long days. In any given day, you're going to work, if you're part of the crew or producer or whatever, 12 hours if we're filming. And a lot of us work more than 12 hours a day. A lot of us are always on the phone, like we were talking about, or, we're constantly, emailing and trying to get things together, put films together. So I think that it's important to take a long, hard look at, like, where you want to go in the industry. And if your situation allows for you to spend, prolonged periods of time away from home sometimes, or, just working those hard days. And it's not particularly glamorous, because sometimes you'll be working, outside and it's raining, or it's super duper hot. Like, I remember location scouting one time, and I was working with Academy Award winning director Roland Jaffe, and we were at Amicalola Falls in Georgia. It's in Dawsonville, I think. And we literally climbed, we went through this hike, and then we climbed like 425 stairs, because that was part of the hike. And it was so hot. Like, it was so sweltering hot. And, you got to have a smile on your face. You got to make everybody feel at home. You got to keep pushing, so I had driven like a couple of hours to get there. And then in addition to that, did this whole hike. Then you drive a couple of hours to get back, to the studio or to the office. And then that's just the scouting portion. Now you get on set, and like I said, you could be outside, it's muddy, there are mosquitoes, and you're out there for at least 12 hours. And if you're a location manager, you're going to get in at least an hour before everybody else, and then you're going to leave an hour after everybody leaves. It's very challenging. And with that said, I will say that despite those challenges, if you're really passionate about the industry, it won't matter. But it really does, you need to make sure that it doesn't feel like work for you, because you're going to want to leave. You're going to want to, like, hit the door and run out of there. if you're not totally obsessed with it. That's my advice. I definitely, my favorite film is Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio, sci-fi, of course. I love it because I think, you know, the whole premise of the movie is just so interesting, just because you've got a situation where you have Leonardo DiCaprio and he is basically hijacking people's subliminal thoughts, you know? And I was always kind of like interested in whether or not that was a possibility or anything like that. And then that kind of leads me to my second favorite film, which is also a sci-fi film, The Matrix, the original Matrix movie, because that also kind of makes you question reality. Like, what is reality, you know, as we know it? Is, you know, is it real? Is there something else going on behind the scenes that we can't see? Is there some kind of matrix or whatever? So it was just really cool to see how they kind of put that thought in everybody's mind and kind of opened up a different idea, you know, the notion that, you know, maybe this is all an illusion. So I thought that that was so great. And besides that, of course, the visual effects that the Matrix had, the original Matrix, it was a game changer in the industry. The way that they would, you know, have the bullets, the slow-mo kind of action sequences that they made, you know, and I remember looking at that and, you know, it sparked something inside me. And I think that it's part of that spark that led me to want to, you know, go into the industry, to be able to be a part of something like that, you know. So those are definitely my two favorites. I love science fiction and like through and through, and those movies just resonated with me.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.